What's up, guys? Happy Independence Day to my fellow United States friends that are watching this video. What a beautiful day to be able to enjoy time with friends and family. And of course, watch this video. If you're watching, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. In this video, we're going to be talking about whether Vivi is back. The market appears to be booming. You have influencers coming out of the grave, posting content about it. So what's going on? Let's take a look in this video. So if you're not following Vivi Viral on Twitter, I don't know why. He's an amazing community member, always sharing great information. He actually made an appearance on Cavell Anderson's channel to defend Vivi essentially from all of the skepticism that Cavell had, and I think he did a great job. Well, he also made a post the other day just talking about the top 10 collectible market caps on Vivi. So this is the first piece of data that I want to look at, and then we're going to go into some deeper analytics. So the top 5 would be Partner Statue, Spider-Man, Todd, R2-D2, and Superman. As you can tell across the board, they're all looking pretty good, and it's kind of obvious, but it seems like what dipped the most, which would be R2-D2, is up the highest on this bounce right now at 36%. I'm not going to go into all these numbers, but one common denominator we see across the top 10, according to market cap, is they're green, and some of them are green substantially. I say that, I guess Spider-Man's down on the smaller chart, but ultimately they are looking good and bouncing back, and there's a lot of theories around why this could be, but again, right now we're just going to look strictly at not just these percentages, but a little bit more data. So shout out, of course, to Vivi Viral for sharing that. The next person I want to highlight who's just done an awesome job, of course, is Vivi Fox. Some of the best data that I've seen, or she goes by Rootless Girl on her Twitter handle. She has created this tool. It's been out for a while. It's called Vivi Tracker. It allows you to be able to look at market data in real time. As you see, this was updated on July 3rd. So this was according to yesterday. By the way, I found it interesting that a lot of the other macro NFT market was crashing around the time that Vivi was going up. I've seen a lot of tweets about that. Now, that side of the market did rebound yesterday as well. I actually called bottom on my Twitter, saying that essentially the entire Twitter, YouTube, everybody was basically flooding their own bags, and I thought it was going to rebound, and it did. As far as Vivi goes, though, things are looking good. During the last 7 days, we have 5.9 thousand average transfers. We have 3.2K average traders and 1.6K average buyers, 2.1K average sellers. So essentially, these are people that are like basically selling the pump, if you want to call it. These are people still accumulating. You know, some of these are short term, some of these are long term. We can guess why they're buying or selling all day. But one of the more important analytics that I do want to look at is the active wallets. The most important part about the active wallets to me is that it's up. It's up 88%, and we actually have 15 new active wallets, which is pretty cool to see. Again, all I can do is speculate around this. I think sentiment is good. Again, you have like influencers coming back. You have prices going up. So for some people, when they see prices going up, that's their cue to, hey, I really wanted to sell this item and it just went up 20, 30%, so I'm going to sell it. And then you have some people just joining in on the, whether you want to call it hype cycle, DCAing, or whatever. It's also important to note, I'm going to come back to this, crypto in general, despite the United States pressure on it, Bitcoin is still above 30K. It was actually, I think, at 31K earlier today. Well, yeah, it's, almost 31K right now, and Ethereum is basically 2K. So despite everything we've seen going on with Gary Gensler and so much pressure on labeling everything as securities, the crypto market still is holding relatively strong. So I think that's pretty cool. So I'm not just going to glaze over the bearish side of the data. Something happened at the beginning of June that onboarded a lot of people. There was 69 new active wallets. We're going to say a lot as in like a relative term, but it's kind of been on the decline. You kind of had 24 new active wallets after that, and then the new active wallets went down, and right now we're sitting at 13, just basically a fraction of the 69. That being said, I'm not too sure if something significant happened at the beginning of June. I don't really remember. I have a lot going on, a lot of eggs in one basket. If you know what happened at the beginning of June, leave it down below in the comments right now. So what I'm about to show you is very interesting statistics that affect the prices, and it does answer some of the questions. So if you look 1 month ago on June 4th at the buyers, sellers, and traders, we actually had way more buyers than we do now on July 4th. So we had around 3,000 buyers. We'll say the exact number, 2,893 June 4th. If you go all the way to July 3rd, so as of yesterday, we have 1,954 buyers. So that's a pretty substantial difference. So there's less buyers right now. So why would the prices be going up if there's less people buying? There's also less people trading. We had 5,077 traders early June. Right now we have 3,622, so we have less traders. So in my opinion, it really comes down to that third stat, which is the sellers. If you have less people selling, that's essentially more holders. Not just that, Vivi also does this thing to where if you have listings on the market that don't sell within a certain time period, then they get delisted. So we had 3,528 sellers June 4th, and currently July 3rd, we have 2,284 sellers. So I think that's the golden number here to look at when you're looking at the data of maybe why some of the prices might be going up. There's essentially less sellers. Now, there's other things that I'm going to get into in just a bit. As far as drop participation goes, I'm just going to call it average, below average. In June, you can see the numbers. I won't read them because I don't want to overwhelm you with numbers. You can always just refer to the site. But if you look here, obviously the drop participation was significantly higher with items and wallets participating in June than it has been in July. And of course, the end of June, it kind of dipped out, and the beginning of July, it kind of dipped out. Now, it's kind of hard to say whether this is bearish or not because it really depends on what's dropping. Like if they're not dropping significant pieces, like whether that be comics or collectibles, there's obviously going to be less participants. And if they're going to be dropping, better pieces, then there's going to be more participants. On top of that, I do think when they integrated the waitlist system, a lot of people just wanted to try it. So there's probably more participants on drops when the waitlist was fairly new. Overall, we don't see a complete fall off. The entire macro NFT market has been rough lately, so I think things are doing fine in that. The last thing I want to mention, the looming thing that's on the back of all of our heads, and probably going to be in the comments for those that just watch part of this video and not till the end, is the lack of cash out. Every single time we see a way where we can't have cash out on Vivi, recently that wasn't really on Vivi's end, that was on the provider that they were using. But every time we see that, there's really nowhere for the money to go or for the gems to go except into other collectibles. So basically money can go in, but it can't go out. This kind of forces people to either sit on their hands or to participate with their current gems, but they're not constantly, retracting and taking that money out. So this is always a factor. I'm not going to say it's the only factor, but it's definitely a factor in all of this. That's why some people lean towards this is just a pump because of strictly that. I think it could be an array of reasons. I think one of the reasons that I pointed out in this video after looking at the data is there's just less sellers right now, whether that's less active wallets as we kind of saw or less sellers. So things sit in the market, they get delisted and prices go up. There has still been some big sells lately, which I didn't even pull up in this video because the tracker actually got taken down on Twitter that I'm aware of. So there are still buys going on. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't even talk about price a lot in my videos. I'm in Vivi because I like to collect what I like. I like to participate in the ecosystem. My roots are in Vivi as far as Web3 goes. Vivi was my gateway into everything else, and so I will always kind of love that part of the community. Vivi's got a strong community. Obviously, if you're watching this far in the video, you are a part of that. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful 4th of July, whether you are in my country or in another. Let me know what you guys think about this video down below. If you like this deep analytical dive or not, I appreciate you so much. Have a great day.